How's it going, guys? I hope everybody's well. I just want to give a quick shout out, a return shout out to Woodland37. The guy gave me a shout out for no reason whatsoever, and that's probably one of the nicest things that someone's ever done for me on YouTube so far. Normally, you have to give some sort of promotion or pay money or give them something in some way for them to do that. To have a much bigger YouTuber give you a shout out and give your little channel a boost is a really, really nice thing. So thanks a lot for that, mate. I really do appreciate it. Now, there's a couple of things I want to just get out of the way with before I start the Dark Souls review. I'm not going to do any spoilers, so I'm not going to be showing any late game content because, I have only played about 38 hours of it, so I'm not all the way through yet because I've made 2 characters as well. So any footage you're going to see is going to be really early game. It's not going to be any spoilers, not going to show anything that hasn't already been shown with the first, 2 or 3 bosses, and so on and so on. But yeah, Dark Souls 3, it's going to be a completely biased review because it's going to be completely one-sided. I'm a huge fan of the series. I have been ever since Demon Souls. I completed that, Dark Souls 2, and now the third one. But I would say this is now, I'd say this is the hardest because a lot of people said Dark Souls 2 was just, it was too easy. They toned down the difficulty. A lot of people said they were trying to cater for new players because they were put off by the difficulty. I quite enjoy the difficulty because in Dark Souls, if you die, it's because of your fuck up. It's not because the game's unfair or because, you'll die of a glitch. It's because you cocked up, which I quite like. So I'm going to get the bad points out of the way with first. Well, there are no bad points. It's Dark Souls. It's perfect in every way. No glitches. I don't know what you mean. Apart from this. So yeah, there are a few little things like that, but it's mainly graphical stuff and nothing has been, as far as my personal experience goes, on my settings, my system, all I've had is funny things like that happening and people not being able to get through the fog wall. If you don't know what that means, that basically means people not being able to start the boss fight and join it with you. But that's all been fixed. The moving human chess piece issue has now been resolved. I haven't seen it happen to me since. So yeah, let's get through the nitty gritty and get this done. Because I am still at my mother's because my flat is being decorated and there's paint cans and all sorts of hell let loose in there at the minute. So I'm trying to get that sorted. But another 2 weeks and I should be back at home and then normal service will resume. Graphics are fantastic. Now, I'm not a resolution snob, so I'm playing this on 1080p. 1080p HD is fine for me. Some people like 2K, a lot of people are going for 4K, but it's just another format wars and it's just going to get better and better. By next week it's going to be 16K and then your 4K telly is going to be wasted, so I'm happy on 1080p at the minute. I'm playing on a little GTX 960 Strix, everything on Ultra. I've had no issues, 60 FPS all the way. I believe it's 30 FPS locked on consoles. It's so smooth and so fast compared to the last series in general. So I'm going to go through a quick few changes of what they've done in the new one. Weapon arts. Now weapon arts, what that means is even as a melee character, it's handy to have some mana because they've now brought a mana bar back instead of spell casting. It's like a set amount. And what that means is every weapon now has a skill. So a weapon could sharpen, so you sharpen it and it does more damage for the next couple of minutes. It could have a stance, so you can do a strong attack, a quick attack, a spinning attack, so on and so on. Every weapon now has a unique feature, which makes it really mixes things up and changes everybody's playstyle. So that is, I do actually really like that. I've got some pretty kick-ass weapons that I've upgraded at the minute that I seem to keep falling back on more than some other weapons. Health is a lot harder to come by. In Demon Souls you got lots of healing herbs. Dark Souls 2 you could just spam what are they called, life gems, and you got all different sizes, all different types. Everywhere you went there were life gems raining down from the sky. That doesn't happen anymore. Health is super hard to come by. You've got your Estus Flask and that's pretty much it, unless you're a healer and a magic caster that can, or a faith, a miracle build that can heal, but that still takes mana. So health is a lot harder, the game is a lot harder, and the game is a lot faster. Let me tell you, I am really struggling with this one at the minute. It's been a while since I've been down quite so many times in the early game. Way more weapon choice than previous titles, so it depends whether you want to be a dexterity build, strength, a bit of mix of the two, magic, whatever. There is weapons to cater for every need in this. The speed of the game is just silly, like I said. It's now 60 FPS, well, on PC. Big up the PC Master Race. No, I'm only messing. I've had PlayStations all my life. But yeah, the speed of it is just crazy, and the weapon arts, everything's changing, and I quite like it. Some people are going to be kicking up a stink. I've already seen things, people bitching and moaning that they don't like the new features that they've added. But I can only see this game moving forward really now. And the only noticeable differences in consoles to PC is the frame rate. So the graphics, I mean, they pretty much look just like they do on the PS4 or Xbox One, well, just in 1080p. So far the difficulty though, that's the one thing that I've noticed that has spiked so much more. Its game is relentless compared to the last series, because I think I've been spoon-fed on Dark Souls 2 and kind of got used to the easiness of it, and then I jumped into this and just got my head kicked in. And well, I mean, it was fun, but if you call fun wanting to put your head through your PC monitor every 10 seconds. But summoning players has also improved as well, because a big issue on the last game, well, all the Souls series, summoning could be a bit of a bastard. You go to unable to summon, can't summon, problem summoning has timed out, and you had to be the same soul level. So finding people to play with could sometimes be a really big issue, but they've solved that in this, and the matchmaking is tenfold compared to what it was in previous titles. Also, if you want to co-op with a friend, before it used to be a nightmare. You'd have to match your soul level with your friend, which, if you're not into the Soul series, I may as well be talking Japanese, but to put it in layman's terms, you had to level up at exactly the same pace as your friend, which was, nigh on impossible. So now there's a password system, so you can, co-op through the whole game, which is pretty sweet. Also, magic has been nerfed, and I mean nerfed. By the second half of the game, or even just over the first quarter of the game, it's fucking useless. They've absolutely destroyed it. I don't think they should have nerfed it, because yes, magic used to be really, really overpowered, but now everything's moving so much faster. It's so easy to dodge out the way of magic, and it just doesn't have the damage impact anymore. I think they maybe should have made it more equal, not necessarily nerfed it completely, but melee is now the go-to class, and I'm seeing a lot of players that used to play as magic now switching over to melee, so it's just not as effective anymore. So far, I think I've just crept over 40 hours. I've made a pyromancer who I'll introduce you to now. Now this is my pyromancer, let's just call him Steve. Now Steve wasn't the prettiest in Warrior School, but Steve had another power. You see, Steve had the power of beauty. He was so beautiful, he would stare at the other warriors and they'd just fall down, and that's how he won all his battles. But yeah, Dark Souls 3 overall, fucking brilliant game. Completely biased. Not gonna lie, I'm a big fan of the series, so of course when you're reviewing a game that you love, it may not be to everyone's taste. If you're a masochist like myself, you'll enjoy it, and I really hope it isn't the last in the series. But yeah, Dark Souls 3, I've been playing this on PC obviously, but it's available on PS4 and Xbox One. Hope you enjoyed the review. Sorry about the echoey location. It sounds like I'm in a concert hall by myself at the minute, but that's because I'm still at my mother's, but I will be home soon. So thanks for watching, thanks for listening, and see you again soon. See ya!